to How I Spent the Apocalypse. Okay, so a lot of people have been doing a lot of cooking. People have been doing a lot more cooking with actual real food. But I realize that some of you still don't know what to do with it because we're getting more and more calls and talking to more and more people that are saying that a lot of times people are picking up food at the food banks and they're tossing the vegetables and fruit out, which is wrong on so many levels. Mm-hmm. The problem is, okay, so why don't more people cook with actual food? You know, we have a lot of friends that, like us, they'll freeze a freezer full of food during the gardening and then they don't use it because they don't remember to take it out in time. Here's the thing, when you're cooking with real food, your dinner, my dinner for tonight started as a thought last night, which was what I'm going to go cook for dinner tomorrow, so that I could get it started this morning. So, I've told you it over and over again, one of the best things to store so that you have plenty of protein and it's easy to store and it'll store almost indefinitely and all that is dried beans. Well, if you're going to cook with dried beans, you have to soak them. Okay, so you can soak them overnight and then put them on. You can soak them overnight, put them in a slow cooker. Or this is a pressure cooker. I literally can pour the beans in this morning, start soaking them, and then I can put them on the stove for like 30 minutes and they're done. Okay, so I'm gonna make chili beans. So that's what I decided. I'm gonna make chili beans. I'm gonna have poke salad and squash. So this morning I got up, I got the beans out of the storm shelter, which one of these days, did I ever show them the storm shelter?
I don't think so.
One of these days I'll show you the storm shelter. Anyway, we'll do a whole thing on it.
It's coming up that time anyway.
Okay, so I got the beans out of the storm shelter where I keep them because if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, I need to have food stored out there, and the only food that's safe to store out there is dried goods. Okay, so I also had to go to my freezer. I had to go to my freezer and I had to get stuff out. Okay, so I'm making chili beans. So I want some of my spaghetti sauce that I make. I make it with my tomatoes. I make spaghetti sauce because if I want to make like chili beans, all I have to do is add cumin to this because it's already got fresh herbs. It's got, you know, oregano I grew, basil I grew, garlic I grew. It's already in there. Okay, and now since I'm making chili beans, if I add cumin to this, or cumin, however you pronounce it, I don't fucking know. I don't know everything. Somebody's calling.
On the phone, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stop for a second.
All right. So I was in the middle of doing this when my therapist called. Hey, somebody's got to put that woman's kids through college. Okay. So I got spaghetti sauce, and like I said, it's like I go ahead and make spaghetti sauce because by adding cumin to it, it becomes Mexican sauce.
Right.
But once you add cumin to something, forget about
You
doing
can't make it Italian.
spaghetti sauce. You can't. You can't come back for cumin. Regular spaghetti sauce, you know, like oregano and stuff like that, those go fine with Mexican food or stews or whatever.
Right.
But once you put cumin in it, it's Mexican food.
Right, right.
As far as I'm concerned. Or Mediterranean. I guess they use them in the Mediterranean too. Okay. I got stir-fried mixed vegetables, and I'm going to heat those up tonight to have with our chili. And then I have, remember when I made all the poke salad? We're going to be eating poke salad all winter long. So
Yeah, we have
poke salad. Okay, so and then so to make the chili, I'll use the spaghetti sauce. I'll add cumin, of course, and then this is venison and herbs with bone broth. So what I do is my son, the genius, will get a deer. And sometimes I help him butcher, mostly, and he'll butcher. But either way, he doesn't want to deal with the bone carcass. There's a lot of meat left on the bones. And I have a big pot, a great big pot. So I will take the bone carcass and boil it and boil it and boil it and boil it till the meat literally disintegrates off the bone. And you get all that wonderful, rich, bony stuff in the broth itself.
Right. Now you have this stuff floating in water because
Okay.
you were talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Damn it, Lynn.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the thing with, okay, so now you're like, I don't have a son who's a genius that goes deer hunting. So how would I get bones that I could then boil down into bone broth? Okay, you can go to, like, if you have a local butcher that butchers out people's sheep, their goats, their deer, okay, just go to them because most people don't want the bones. Most people leave the bones. Okay, just go to them and talk to them. Sometimes they'll let you have them for free. Other times they'll let you have them on the super cheap. And it's basically just boiled. Now when I do it, I take whatever garlic and whatever herbs that I have and I throw it in there with it and just boil it, boil it, boil it. So when I get done, as you can see, there's a lot of meat.
Yeah, there's a
Because
lot.
it comes off, you know, he's cut as much meat as he can off, but when you boil it, big chunks of meat.
Yeah, big chunks.
Okay, and you can see you've got some fat in there, but it's also spiced and stuff, so
Yes.
it's ready to go. Okay, so Lynn said, why are you soaking in water? Okay, so it's frozen hard. As of this morning, it was frozen hard.
Right.
By filling the sink this full with hot water, it helps melt all this.
Yeah.
Okay, and it'll sit there all day. Sometimes if I'm really trying to speed it up, I'll go ahead and let the water out, do it again, but I don't have to do that. This is gonna set all day. By this afternoon, those will all be thawed. It just helps thaw it out. Okay, so that's the thing. You have to plan to make real food. It takes prep work. You have to know how to prep vegetables. You have to know, how do you know, when Tracy Lewis worked for us all the time, I once had to prep vegetables, and she was like, oh, okay, you're gonna have to tell me how to do this because I don't know how. And I was shocked. I was like, how can you not know how to prep vegetables? So that's one of the reasons I decided to make this, because I realized maybe people are getting rid of their food because they don't know how to do it. Okay? And of course, I've already done all of this. This was all had to be prepped. Okay? Tomatoes had to be cooked with herbs and spices and blended down and frozen. Squash and vegetables had to be cut up and prepared and cooked. What I usually do, I might have told you this, in the summertime when I have something like so many squash and carrots and mixed vegetables, I just make whatever I've got.
In a huge
So I'll
wok.
make a great big pan of them. And then we eat what we want for that night, and then I take the rest of it and I put it in the containers
I'll put it in a
and
container
freeze
and freeze it, yeah.
Okay, the poke, I had to go get it, cut it, boil it twice, and then pack it and freeze it. Okay, it's not rocket science, people. You should be able to take an eggplant and know that you need to peel it. You don't have to peel it, by the way. Peeling's tough. You're not going to eat it. But you don't have to. Some people bake them with the peeling on, and then just scoop
it
the
out.
middle out and eat them. Okay. You can cut it in slices and make eggplant parmesan. You can do all kinds of stuff. Squash. You can cut it up, fry it, boil it. Don't throw it away.
You can make squash bread, like pumpkin bread.
You
and
can
stuff
make
like that.
pumpkin bread, you can make zucchini bread, you can make all kinds of different things you can make. Get a recipe book
Or Google it online.
or Google it online. It'll tell you how to, but
Yes.
you're assuming that everybody has computers.
That's
Well,
right.
they do if they're watching YouTube.
Yes, they are.
I say, so Google it online. See how somebody preps something. Maybe this summer I'll actually show me prepping some vegetables to put up so that you don't have to wonder how the hell do you do that. Okay? So, but don't throw good food away. Even if you can't eat it all and you don't have any way of storing it, do you not know anybody that needs something to eat? You don't have livestock to feed it to? Then put it in the goddamn composting bin. Something. food is too hard to make to just throw it away. Not only that, I might have said this before because it freaked me out when I read it. If food waste was a country, this is a scientific fact, kiddos. If food waste was a country, it would be right behind the United States and China in the emission of CO2. That's right. So wasted food rotting
Destroys the environment.
causes as much CO2 right behind China and the US. Don't waste food.
Exactly.
Thank you.